Okay, so we are still following this pursuit. California Highway Patrol in the lead agency now. Sheriff's Department, they are down to one supervisor trailing behind. California Highway Patrol a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more protective of their area, so they may want to bring this to an end quicker. Now the deal is, if one of those California Highway Patrol vehicles approaches this guy, like comes up right behind him really fast, my guess is he's going to open, Cycle Lulu. Anyway, here we go. We're going to be eastbound 91 freeway, continuing on, and it's going to get interesting because I can actually put the camera out here. I don't think we're going to miss very much. If you're watching on the web, just take a look. Going to take a big turn right here. I know it's quite a distance, but that'll move pretty quickly, even very, very slowly. There's a huge accident out there. What do we see? Stopped traffic. So that's what's going to be, that's what's coming up if he stays on the 91. He could get off, he could take an off-ramp here or there. You could take the 55 as I understand it, but right now still on the 91 freeway. Still moving along very, very slowly. We're going to keep an eye on this guy for sure. Murder suspect. That's what this guy is. Dangerous, very dangerous, possibly even armed. So this started in the Carson-Compton area. Sheriff's Department, out behind this guy. Lights and sirens. You probably can picture it. You've seen a lot of television. Lights and sirens come on. This guy takes off. It was going pretty well on the streets for a while. Gets onto the freeway, and basically this guy just gets in the carpool lane and starts driving. You know, right now this guy, very dangerous. These people around him have no idea what's going on. They probably have no idea who this person is, but a very dangerous situation. California Highway Patrol very close by, and I'm sure that's because they're trying to keep the public safe. Now, he's going to continue these type of moves, squeezing in and out of these traffic right here, but this is going to come to an end as all lanes are shut down. There's an off-ramp coming up. Don't know if this is going to be Weir Canyon or not, but he might be taking it. I think they said Imperial. I'm not sure if this is Imperial. See, officers from Highway Patrol, they got their doors open. That's how aggressive they're going to take. They want this to come to a stop. There we go. He's kind of lurching forward, staying on the freeway. He's choosing the freeway. Don't know what that's all about. Right now, he's working his way. Here it goes. Here it goes. Oh, he's just pushing his way through there, keeping it moving, you know, damaging, getting that car a little boogered up for sure. Obviously, you know, I'm a huge car guy. There he goes, getting in the HOV lane. Got a little bit more of an opening up right there, and he's going to take advantage of it. California Highway Patrol, a little slow on the go right there. They're basically stuck on the other side of traffic. This guy basically stuck behind traffic right now, not doing anything super aggressive. You know those officers are going to try to work their way across. They want to stay close to this guy, an armed suspect. They need to keep the public safe. Right now, though, this guy just kind of moving along. The fast track, I got to tell you, I'm going to keep this car in sight. I don't want to lose it. That's it. Look at that. He is stuck. There is very little he can do. You know, don't know what the officers from California Highway Patrol are going to do. I'm sure people watching, you know, we all armchair these things. We all sit there going, oh, why did he just pull in front of him? Why don't they just, when they shoot his tires out? You know, all that's fine and good. The part of it that people don't realize is life and safety. You know, this is real life. This isn't a video game. When people get hurt, they really get hurt. If officers make a wrong decision and somebody gets hurt, that's going to weigh on that officer for a long time. And right now, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep the public safe. I'm hearing that the pause right there is I'm actually trying to listen in. You know, our scanner audio needs to be repaired. Just putting that out there. We've had some real difficulties with that. It would be nice if I could actually hear what's going on and not just part of it. Look at that! I love it! Some social media happening right there in that blue Honda Civic. I don't know who that guy was, but good on him. All right, there we go. He got out of that fast track, and you see right there some other California Highway Patrol getting behind him right now, moving a lot faster. This guy's trying to put some distance between him and those officers. Don't know what that break was all about. Basically sped up and right here, didn't see any spike strips, didn't see any type of dramatic moves. But right now, this guy really just kind of I don't know what his plan is. Maybe his plan is just to bore the CHP to death. Maybe I'm just going to drive real slow and these guys are just going to get bored and leave me alone. They won't. But right now, this is coming up very, very fast here on the fast track lane, 91 freeway, Anaheim Hills. You can see California Highway Patrol. That's as close as I've seen an officer in a while. Making their way out here, slowly working up to that accident here on the 91. Traffic still almost completely stopped. After that, though, wide open. Now you're going to say, oh, you know what? He's going to hit that, and he's going to just floor it, and it's going to get all exciting. I'm right there with you. But my guess, he's going to get out of the traffic, and he's going to roll at about 20, 25 miles an hour. You know, I'm saying that because I want to be wrong. Seems like every time I say something like that's going to happen, the opposite happens. I'm hoping for the opposite. Don't want that to happen. Want you viewers at home or wherever you are right now watching this to have the best viewing experience that you can have. This guy right here in the Chevy, I like this. Oh, look at that. Whoa! Yeah! Oh, yeah, good Samaritan. Good on you there, buddy, but not quite the outcome that you wanted. There you go. Still moving along out here, and that's one of the reasons why you don't, as a viewer or as somebody that may come across this, you don't want to get involved. Many times, I hear people saying, oh, if I was down there, I'd do this and I'd do that. You know what? This is a very obscure reference, but you know what? You saw what happened to Flea in the movie Pursuit, and you don't want that to happen to you. So anyway, half a mile to the accident right now. If not, then you might be having a flat tire here shortly. That'll at least bring some excitement to the table. Right now I'm waiting anxiously as the countdown continues. We're going to be going live on Channel 9 here shortly. I'm going to drink some more water, save my voice for a moment or two. We're going to be on 9 here. 91 freeway approaching the 241. That is a very powerful car with a lot of maneuverability, even with those two flat tires. Now, this pursuit has been going since the Compton Carson area, started on the streets, got on the 91 freeways, been there ever since. We did see some dramatic moments earlier on in the Anaheim Hills when we came up to some very, very stopped traffic. You can see some damage on that car. That's because he was hitting other cars to get through the traffic. He has two flat tires right now on the driver's side, so that is going to be impairing that vehicle somewhat. Don't know what this guy is going to do. It's been a very slow speed pursuit for sure. Started out, Sheriff's Department, they were the ones in pursuit. They had a helicopter above it. They had many units behind it, but they gave it off to the California Highway Patrol as it stayed on their freeways. Right now, those tires are really starting to get flat. Those were low profile to begin with. Right now, they're no profile, especially on the bottom, because that's the flat part. Right now, you can see those tires really starting to wear off, right? And you can imagine inside that car, there's some lights flashing. That car is saying, hey, buddy, you got some flat tires. But right now, this is continuing on. Somebody once asked me, very good friend of mine, his wife actually asked me, an older woman, said, but still very attractive, said to me, watching this pursuit, she learned something once that she did not know that you can drive on flat tires. And this is something, a little educational. If your tire does go flat, it's not recommended. Your stability is going to be greatly compromised. But if you're in a situation where you get a flat tire on a freeway or in a spot, you can drive on a flat tire for some time. So just a little bit of information right there. This car definitely has two flat tires on the driver's side. Continuing on right now, we have passed the 241. We're going to be entering the Corona area here shortly. Now, California Highway Patrol behind this vehicle, they have many cars behind this vehicle right there, and none of them actually have made the approach to go ahead and pit this vehicle. We do know a couple of them are pit qualified. Don't know why they haven't done that. Maybe because of the possibility that this person is armed. Those officers right there, you saw they were actually hiding behind their vehicles, taking cover behind the vehicle. That's probably because this is an armed suspect. He may have just hit some more spike strips.
Hey, Stu, I know a lot of the higher-end cars may also have run-flat tires. That may be a factor in why he can continue on maybe a little bit longer, even though you still can drive on the rims when the tires are flat. But again, this is, I think you said an S500 Mercedes, high-performing car. I believe it's a V8 engine and probably equipped with those run-flats, so he might be able to go for quite a bit longer than the average car that gets spike stripped.
It certainly looks like he's going pretty fast right now with those flats.
Yeah.
We just want to remind everybody this is an early edition of KCAL 9 at 8 o'clock as we continue to follow this breaking news of a pursuit of a murder suspect on the 91 freeway. Also, this is eastbound near the 241 in Anaheim Hills. And this started about an hour ago, and since then, this suspect in this black Mercedes S550 has crashed into cars in traffic, has gone maybe 20 miles an hour on the slow end and maybe 50, 60 on the high end.
There was even a traffic break, I believe, by the CHP as they continued on the slow speed portion of this pursuit. And people, there he goes into the K-rails, but people were asking why are they not pitting him?
He's got no control. No control of this car. No control at all. That's very unusual. I'm shocked to see that. He's got, he's basically lost at least his two front tires. No control of the car. Can't get that car to turn to the right now. You can see that front wheel basically turned over to the right. The car basically just keeps pulling over to that K-rail, sliding across those K-rails right there. K-rail, that concrete wall. And he hit another one right there. Really, this is very unusual stuff. Now he's going to really start punishing that car. If that rail kind of goes away, I'm going to try to get a little bit more direct over it, see if we can see some sparks coming off of it. I can imagine this car putting out some sparks. No more K-rail. Whoa! Taking out some more stuff right there. This car really starting to move. He's kind of really pushing that car. No control of the car at all. Keeps hitting those K-rails. This is very unusual stuff. Not what we were seeing earlier on. And he seems to really starting to pick up the speed. Don't know why. Every time he loses, there goes one of the tires. This car just punishing itself as it keeps hitting those K-rails. You can see some sparks coming out of the other side of the car, the passenger side, some sparks out of the driver's side as well. Now, he does have that wheel all the way cocked over. You can see that person, if you really look in there, has it all the way over, and he's basically just riding that center, the median right there, picking up speed. Now, this car does have a top speed of about 150 miles an hour. That's where it's limited to. Whoa! Whoa! Just now he's going across all lanes. He's going to stay a little bit wider. Kind of curious what he's going to go into. There are no K-rails on this side. You can see those wheels locked up as he's trying to get control. Going across there, hitting. Going to hit the metal medium. Don't know what his plan is right there. Seems like he's slowing it down. California Highway Patrol right behind him. Smoke coming out of the car right now. Smoke coming out of the car. Don't know if that vehicle is stopping on its own or if it's the driver that's is doing it. But right now, officers got their guns out. This car completely smoking right now, probably from hot metal and rubber and maybe brakes. Don't see any fire. Now, one thing I did see when I glanced over there was a dog in that gaggle of officers. Probably going to be something they might use. All the windows right now on that car are closed. So, you know, this may become some sort of standoff out here. I believe we are very close to the 71 if we're not on it right away. But Santa Ana Canyon, we're right in the Santa Ana Canyon, almost into the Corona area. Almost in the middle. Now the 91 freeway eastbound going to be completely shut down while this car sitting here smoking. That suspect inside that vehicle. Officers, California Highway Patrol, weapons out. You can see them right now. Now they have a situation. What are they going to do with this guy? Possibly armed. Some crazy moments here at the end. That car just basically punishing itself. That driver, no control there as it has all those flat tires. Right now the car just kind of smoking, sitting there. That driver not complying.
Well, this may be the end of the pursuit, Stu, but it may be just the beginning of something else. Remember, keep in mind, this is a possible murder suspect who is possibly armed and may feel they have nothing to lose, clearly by the way they were driving and leading police and CHP on this chase for more than an hour now.
Earlier on, he knew what was going on. The window is up right now. This guy's sitting in there. I do have one ear on the radios trying to figure out also what these officers are planning on doing. Right now, though, it's going to be a waiting game for sure, and that waiting game is going to inconvenience a lot of people. Don't think we're going to miss anything. I'm going to do a little bit of a pan right now as I show you what's going on the 91 freeway, completely shut down. These poor folks, you got to get, you know, we live in Los Angeles, we live in California, and these guys are the Orange County folks, but you know what, traffic is what we do, and you know what, these guys probably were sitting in that Weir Canyon mess for the longest time, got out of that, now they're sitting in this. These guys right here have no recourse. There's no way for them to take any type of off-ramp or turn around. You can see that K-rail right there that car was running up against earlier on at high speed, so they can't even make U-turns to get back going the other way. Something else I noticed while I'm talking to you, no traffic on the westbound lanes of the 91. So I'm looking out the window and I'm getting a feeling that they're going to shut down the westbound traffic as well because they want to keep the people safe. This person obviously, or perhaps armed or believed to be armed. So anytime there's a situation like that, this person's got a bullet or has a weapon that can shoot. Those bullets, they don't have names. They just go anywhere. So they are going to keep the public safe. They're going to keep themselves safe as well. You don't think they're going to just make an approach and break the window, but right now it's pretty much a standoff. I understand that they're probably going to be calling crisis negotiators. Don't know how they're going to communicate with this now. This going on, let's take a look at the 91. Let's see how this affects the people. Well, it is just beyond sad. A lot of these people were sitting in traffic earlier this evening, basically sitting out there waiting as all lanes were closed in the Anaheim Hills area because of a traffic collision near Weir Canyon. All lanes on the eastbound 91 were shut down for some time. A lot of these people in that traffic, now a lot of people in this traffic. At least at the 91, there was at Weir Canyon, there was an opportunity for them to get around. They at least had one lane. I could get the cars around safely. Right now, they can't get any cars around safely. I'm kind of pushing in right here because I'm seeing some people doing what we see a lot in these type of situations where they have no place to go. Get out of your car, walk around, look around. We haven't seen anybody sitting on their vehicles. This person armed at one point. That's what we were told. That something just happened right there. I'm not sure if somebody was shooting at the car, maybe a pepper ball, or maybe the tire just blew out, but we just saw a big puff of smoke in the back of the car. I do know SWAT is inbound. We're going to get you an ETA here in a little bit, but we do know that they actually are en route. You know what? This is this is the cause of all this. But let's take a look real quick. I'm going to kind of swing the camera out to the west. So this is going to be the eastbound traffic. A lot of that right there, what you're seeing in that darkness, is a lot of the vehicles that have shut their lights off right now. Those cars are basically just shut their cars off, probably sitting in there, maybe watching on the internet. But then take a look over here. Gives you an idea how far back those headlights stretch. Now this goes back quite a bit. That intersection that you're seeing right there, that's going to be the 241 right there. So this is the 241 joining the 91 eastbound, completely stopped. That's the 91 eastbound, completely stopped. You know, you got some motorcycles working their way through there right now. You know what? These guys, you know, everybody sits in traffic. You see these bikes going by. You kind of think to yourself, but you know what? They're going to get stopped too. Eventually, they are not going to be able to go any farther. I heard just moments ago that the traffic accident on the 91 at Weir Canyon just cleared. But it's not going to make any difference because this is the general area where that was. You can see some movement of those headlights out there, but that's all coming to a complete stop. So basically right here we're looking at way out into the Anaheim Hills area. You can see the traffic still kind of joining, still getting to the end right there where that backup is going to start. If I had to guess, I'd say thousands of people are in that backup right now. Going to work my way back over to the scene. SWAT is inbound. We'll get you some kind of ETA here in just a moment.
Yeah, well, it could be tens of thousands. I mean, if you're wondering where your wife, your husband, your boyfriend or girlfriend is and they're late for dinner, they could be stuck in this traffic. This is going to be eastbound and westbound 91 freeway because of the end of a police pursuit and a now standoff that has happened there. And let's take a live look here from our Skycam above the Santa Ana Canyon area, just to kind of give you a perspective of just how far back this backup goes. Again, this is going to be the 71 and 91 freeway in the Santa Ana Canyon area. And it is going to be a long night for a lot of those drivers.
Oh, I feel for those people already, because it's already a tough area to get through on a work night where people are commuting home. This is just the worst I think I have seen in a very, very long time. I really feel for those people who are just absolutely stuck. That's another vantage point we're showing you here from our Skycam looking at the Santa Ana Canyon. You saw Stu's vantage point, which was just awful. I mean, can't believe that. Backed up all the way, I think he said, to the 241, the Corona area, and maybe even farther back.
Unclear what's going on inside that vehicle, if that person is still with us or not. But right now, the officers not taking any chances. We know Santa Ana PD has been called. Their SWAT team is en route. I'm going to go a little bit wider. I see some reds and blues working their way down the 91. Sorry about that massive swing right there. You know, maybe I should have told you guys, please take your Dramamine. There you go. We got some vehicles working their way over here right now. Believe that's going to be some of those tactical personnel that we've been hearing about earlier on. Now you can see what they have to deal with. Now people have been pulling over. A lot of the cars don't have their lights on because they've been sitting here so long, probably just shutting their cars off. At least it's not a sweltering hot day or crazy cold. Probably pretty comfortable out down there, but I can tell you, if I was down there, I would want to be any place but sitting in traffic in my car wondering what's going on miles ahead of me. Now those cars are going to be making their way over to this scene where that car has come to a complete stop right there. Armed suspect led a police on pursuit for hours. Started in the sheriff's department area. So long, as a matter of fact, Sky 9 actually got gas in between at Fullerton, at the Fullerton airport, while this pursuit was still ongoing.
Tonight, the pursuit, a standoff, and then a massive backup as both eastbound and westbound 91 freeway at the Green River Road exit is closed at this point in time. This is going to be in the Santa Ana Canyon area as we continue to follow this story. It started about 6:30, so we're 2+ hours into this. It just about, I would say about 7:30 or so. Tonight, that car then lost control, then hit the median, and that is where it stopped, where you see the live pictures there. We understand SWAT from Anaheim Police on the scene. It looks like they are starting to move in.
And they're starting to move in right now. I think the CHP realizes they can't keep these people stuck on this freeway for much longer. This is going to turn into a worse situation. But now you could see those SWAT vehicles from Anaheim PD actually just drive right up to this Mercedes, block it in, one in the front, one in the back. Stu, what are they doing and what are they preparing to do?
Well, basically, they're blocking the vehicle in. We know that car can't move. We saw it try to move earlier on, but they need to make sure that car cannot to an end shortly. While this is going on, though, as we've been talking about all night, all these people out here on the freeway, thousands of them, basically in a gridlock type of situation where they cannot get anywhere. We were talking about the westbound traffic earlier on. Those guys at least able to make a U-turn, make their way onto the 71 and out of the situation. These people that we're showing you right here, they cannot. And the reason why it's not so bright is a lot of these people finally just shutting off their cars as we make the pan and we pass the 241 and work our way all the way out there on the 91 freeway, all the way out into the Anaheim Hills area. That's probably out by Weir Canyon right there. All these cars coming to a complete stop. These guys stuck out here this evening. They're going to have to wait until they can get that freeway reopened.
Okay, Stu, thank you so much. This is KCAL 9 at 8 o'clock as we, in just a few minutes, transition to KCAL 9 at 9 o'clock. 8:58, as you see, is your time. We continue to follow this breaking news story here that started about 6:30 tonight in Compton as a police pursuit of a murder suspect. We understand police thought that individual may be armed and dangerous. It started in the Compton area with local police there lighting up that suspect vehicle, lights and sirens. That suspect then drove off onto the 91 freeway, eastbound and westbound. That is now a standoff you see there with live pictures.
Well, Mark, the original reports were that it was a suspect that was alone, but we have not given any information that there's any. Okay, they just broke the windows. You see that. That is called a rake and brake. That's a very long stick that they're putting through that rear window. You can see that's a tool that they use. Can get in that window. They can break that window and get a better look inside. That is a rake and brake technique, they call it. So that's going to help them make that determination, that question mark, and more light coming on it. They could be planning on something else here. Okay, we saw something just light. Okay, that is
some sort of
that
tear
could
gas,
be
right?
A tear gas canister. They're using that same long part, and they're putting tear gas from the rear to the front. They're going to fill that vehicle with tear gas. And I'm not certain. It could be CS tear gas. It could be just smoke. It's uncertain right now. But again, another less than lethal tactic to make sure. Okay, we see some officers coming. Okay. There is a situation we're seeing someone crawl on the front. I'm not sure if that's a suspect coming out or that's a... Okay, so something definitely happened. We saw something on the hood of the car. It looked like someone... Can't see it now because of the smoke. It looked like someone either crawling on top of the car or crawling into the car. Uncertain if that was a suspect coming out or officers going in, but we did see a silhouette of someone on the hood of the car climbing out. That smoke may be enough to divert that suspect out. He didn't want any more, so we're going to push back in. See what's going on here again. If it don't, okay, the canine has made contact with the suspect.
There
He's
he is.
alive.
Wow.
The canine is out.
Got a
They are
hold of
taking him into custody. At this point, the handler is going to try to get him off. And it looks like the suspect was alive, in custody right now. When that smoke went in, he had enough. He crawled out the front of that car. We saw that briefly before the smoke handled it. They deployed the canine, standing by when he tried to make a run for it. Again, another less than lethal situation here. They are now taking him into custody, and it looks like this thing is going to end. And again, he's going to have some bites on him, but that is that's probably the best he could ask for here. Now it comes down to taking him into custody, getting the dog off him, which it looks like they have done. Canine does an excellent job. The handlers are very professional when it comes to this. But he was making a run for it. You saw that. We saw a glimpse of it, just that silhouette of him coming through before the smoke covered him. It was hard for us to see, but as soon as that smoke went in there, Mark and Michelle, he wanted nothing more to do with it. He got out of there, and that's when they deployed the canine.
They're doing this on purpose, you know. Okay, that's a good enough there.
Let's go up to Stu Mundell in Sky 9. Stu.
Well, Jeff, Elsa, I'd like to start out with, I'd love to say the freeway's been reopened. It hasn't. This is the crime scene that you see right there. There's the Mercedes in the center of the shot. I'm going to go a little bit wider. At 91 freeway, eastbound and westbound, still shut down. Police activity. You are right, though. That suspect in custody right now, being treated by paramedics for a dog bite and also for some other injuries he received while being taken into custody by the SWAT team. They surrounded the vehicle. They broke out the windows. They threw some gas in there, and then the dog went in and got that guy out. He's in custody. He is alive, and right now the freeway is still shut down. Now, actually, there's the suspect right there on the gurney. Now, but this wasn't the scene earlier on. We have some clips from when this pursuit was still active and still on the go. The first one we have, he was on the 91 getting into by Weir Canyon, and he was trying to weave through some cars, and he started sideswiping them. Bang, bang, mirrors popping off. This guy would not stop. He just kept pushing on through there. The next one, the next big one that we saw was basically after the freeway kind of opened up. We were very close to the end here, San Diego Canyon. He had flat tires. At least 3 flat tires, and while he had those 3 flat tires, that car basically ping-ponged its way all across the freeway, back and forth, got air a couple of times, finally coming to an end out here, and it stopped. That's where the standoff began, and it went on and on and on. At one point, we actually were pushing in, looking at the car, talking about something else, and we saw that rear wheel spinning. We have some tape from that earlier on. That rear wheel spin gave an indication that that suspect was still alive. There were some questions if he had possibly taken his own life. But now we know he did not. The freeway still closed down out here hours later on. This suspect just going inside that ambulance. Freeway, 91 freeway, out here is the Corona area into San Diego Canyon, is just now, the westbound lane's just now opening up. If you're looking at our shot, you'll see some cars driving through there. Now they're just opening up the freeway for the westbound. Hopefully the eastbound will be opening up here shortly. They have to clear a lot of emergency equipment. Live in Sky 9 over the Corona area in the 91. I'm Stu Mundell. Back to you guys in the studio.